Hi, everybody. Time to do another card reading for the week. So, welcome to my fairy channel called the Fairy Oracle. A little background on how I ended up with the name. Several years ago, when I happened to be doing different venues and fairs, a woman came up to me and asked me if I knew that I had fairy energy. And I said, no, I wasn't aware. And she said, well, you do. And over the course of the years to the present day, many people have mentioned that to me. And so, hence the name fairy. And the word oracle came from a print that I did when I was in college, and I named the print Oracle. And it's a sepia toned print, but it's the painting that I used for the back of my cards. And so I don't know if you can notice, but this print or this design that I drew out really has an etheric feeling to it. It almost looks like somebody is in the center, and this is the many facets of a life. So that's the oracle of it all. But anyway, I'm going to do a reading similar to the reading that I did the other night. And I just wanted to show you something. See how this card, when I was shuffling, popped out? I'm going to take that out and put it aside. And I'm going to shuffle again. Continue to shuffle. And I'm going to let the cards fall where they fall tonight. I'm not going to fan anything and pick with my senses. But I'm kind of feeling like there are some of you out there that almost feel like you are not noticed. And you kind of like sit in the shadows. And I don't know if it's because you're getting older, and this can be for men and women. I don't know if it's because you feel that you're getting older and that part of your life that was so special is now gone, or if you've chosen to remain in the background. I have a sense that it's not by choice. So what would you do about that if you had a choice? Because I feel like we always have choices. Sometimes we feel stuck. We feel really stuck, but we always have choices. And have you ever noticed how sometimes somebody might give you a suggestion and you look at the suggestion and right away you say, no, I'm not going to do that. Or no, that's not for me. Or I can't do that. No, that's not going to work out. All of those kinds of responses put up a block. So rather than say that, say, well, that's a possibility, or that could happen, or I'll have to think about that. Because that way you're opening up your heart and your mind to the possibility that you could be in a different spot in the future than you are now, which I'm sensing is not making you very happy. So let's pick two more cards. And see what they have to say. Now, this is a card reading for this week up until Sunday. Very interesting. The first card, the card that fell out, is Archangel Shamuel. And Archangel Shamuel is known as the angel of peaceful relationships. I painted her, I painted this angel with a feminine energy, because when we think of the color pink, which is the love color, we tend to think of the feminine. But it doesn't have to necessarily be the feminine, because love doesn't have a gender. Love is. And so if you are a male, if you are a female, if you're a human being that at this moment in time doesn't feel very loved, whether it's in a relationship with a partner or a relationship you're struggling with a child, call on Archangel Shamuel. Shamuel, if you call and say Archangel Shamuel, I usually say it 3 times. Archangel Shamuel, Archangel Shamuel, Archangel Shamuel. Please hear me now. Remember the respect. I'm struggling in my relationships and I need your help. Please help me to be more loving so that this relationship can be healed. That is just an example of asking a higher light being, such as an angel, for help. Now, there are people that say, well, I go directly to the source, whatever the source is, God, Jesus, whatever, Buddha. And I see all of these light beings as part of the whole. And they're there to help us, to guide us, to give us hope, to bring us to that destination. And while we're on this journey, we're going to encounter things that are uncomfortable. So they are there to help us on our journey. And Archangel Shamuel is also the angel that heals broken hearts. And as we know, a broken heart can come from many different situations. So if you are hurting, if you feel alone, if you don't feel like you know what your place is, or you're sitting in the back and you really want to be sitting more in the front, then make that choice. Make that choice for yourself. Just pull up your boots and make that choice. And it can be slow too. It can be just baby steps, but at least make a choice. Because sitting in the back or being in your situation and shutting down every suggestion or shutting down every possibility, you're going to stay in the back. You're not going to move forward. And time is going to happen, whether you're back there or up here. So you might as well be up here. Okay? So ask Archangel Shamuel for help in your relationships. And then the next card is intuition. Now, intuition is a really interesting card because when I was naming this card, I did not get the word intuition. I got a message that said, into it I am. And I said it, into it I am. It sounds like intuition. But that's really what your intuition is. You are so into the situation with all aspects of your being, with your heart, with your mind, with your soul, with your spirit, with your energy. And all of your senses are percolated, and they're there. And they're there to tell you that it's okay to listen to yourself. It's okay to listen to your intuition. And then what I like to do is I like to ask for confirmation because, if I'm feeling a certain way, I could be wrong, or I could make a mistake, or it could alter my journey or alter my experience, maybe in a way that isn't the, the best for my highest good. So don't be afraid to, follow your gut. If your gut is if everybody's telling you to go this way, but your gut is telling you to go this way, 9 times out of 10, your gut is going to be correct. And I'm not talking about warm and fuzzy feelings. I'm talking about the gut. It's a deep inner knowing. So we had Archangel Shamuel, known as the love angel, peaceful relationships, with a nice pink heart. And the first color that is on this person in their aura, is pink. And so if I see pink in the core of somebody's aura, it usually means that they're a very love-centered human being. They could be a nurse or a doctor, or somebody that takes care of children, has a daycare, is an advocate, takes care of the elderly, that kind of thing. But that color pink is the love color. And when I see it in the first color around a person, it's their core color. It's really who they are. But for some reason, love is the theme tonight. And then the next card that we have is Be Still. So if we are in a situation where we have asked for help, where we have listened to our intuition and nothing seems to be happening, be still. Because in those be still, quiet moments, so much can happen that we cannot see. So when we're still, we are able to listen to our highest self. It's almost like pushing out all the chatter that's going on and just being with who we are. Now, if you look at this card, is very interesting. This person, when I did this card, she is a Reiki master. And she had the color turquoise around her, which I didn't know she was a Reiki master when I did her soul aura. But the second color, which would be about 20 to 40 years, is pink. And anybody that does Reiki, and is a Reiki practitioner or Reiki master, and does that for a profession, has a very loving energy. It's a very loving, giving profession for healing. So this card is basically telling us not to try to force answers, not to be so impatient that we jump on the next thing without being still with ourselves and asking ourselves and listening to our intuition. What is it that I need to know? I think that our higher selves know what's best, because our higher selves are up above our crown. The higher self vibrates higher than the human body or the human condition, and it's closer to God. So when we take the time to be still and we listen to our intuition and our highest self, then we get answers that we wouldn't expect if we jumped and made a decision without doing that. Now let's see what the bottom card is for the root. This is an excellent card. Recognize the shadows. Whenever the shadow card comes up, so this is the basis for this reading. Whenever the shadow card comes up, this is a call for personal action to look at yourself. Instead of projecting everything out there, oh, it's because of my job, or it's because they said this, or it's because they did this, or no, look at yourself. Look inside yourself. What is it that bothered me about what that person said? And is it something I need to really react to? Is it important to react? If I'm a person that normally reacts, is it important to react? Our shadow side is just as important as our light side. Because if we didn't have a shadow side, we would not know what it was like to be in the sun. We wouldn't have a clue. So it's like morning and night. It's like the sun and the moon. And so it's important to recognize our own shadows and the things that we need to change. Yes, maybe somebody said something that was incredibly hurtful. But how are we going to react to it? And what is the highest good of a reaction? And what am I going to do with all these emotions that I have? Anger, resentment, bitterness, shutting down, aggression. What am I going to do with those? Because they're part of the human condition, and we all have experienced those things. So this card also is a call to action this week to make a conscious decision to recognize our own inner shadows, our own inner demons, so to speak. And once we recognize them, then we can make a conscious choice to begin to change them a little bit at a time. And you'll notice that if you're quick to anger, you might not be quick to anger so much anymore. If you notice that you are the kind of person that reacts when somebody triggers you, you may not be doing that anymore. So these are things to work on to reach that consciousness that is going to help humanity as a whole. Because individually, right, we're helping ourselves. But on a higher level, we're helping everybody. Because I do feel that we are all connected. The globe is a circle. It's not a straight line. It's not a square with rough edges. It's a circle. And circles go round and round. So keep in mind that what we put out there will come back to us somehow. If we're going to put out positivity, positivity will return to us. If we're going to put out being giving, we will be given to. If we're going to put out love, we will be loved. So, my friends, for this week, just pay attention to how you feel, why you feel the way you feel, and make little notes. Jot it down in a journal. Nobody has to see it. This is between you, it's between your higher self, and it's between God and the universe. Okay? Have a good week. Blessings, and I'll see you next time. Be blessed. Bye-bye.